What's going on, guys? So the other day I put out a video on my Instagram story asking guys if they're still running trail cameras after season and why. I never have. I wind up pulling them sometimes before season ends. For me, I hunt really old school where I'm scouting a lot. You go in the season on public ground around here and thinking you're going to hunt this buck down, and it's really defeating when you show up and there's 8 guys in the parking lot, and now with cell cams, everyone, like, there's not a secret buck on public ground. And in my eyes, back in the day, even, just a few years ago, you could find a buck that no one really knew about on public ground. Nowadays, with so much information, I shot my big buck, this guy over my shoulder, this year, and I got 3 different guys that sent me trail camera pictures of him. I didn't have any pictures of him, but they all had pictures of him. And so to find a secret buck that no one knows about, I think is, I think that day has moved on. So for me, if late season I find this buck and on this food source and I have this late season pattern, well, next season that deer can get killed early October because there's guys in there that are good hunters and got cell cam pictures of him and figure him out. And by the time I get to even start hunting, they're all in there. The way that I scout, I'm on a completely different property anyways. And so all I did was just get a bunch of pictures of, like, maybe a really cool buck or something like that someone else shot. It does add a little bit of, what am I trying to say? It can become defeating sometimes on something that's already really hard when you have all these pictures of this buck, and then all of a sudden he just disappears and he's gone. And then, if you've been planning your season on this deer, like, what happens then? And so I just kind of hunt in a manner in which it doesn't really affect me, where if a buck dies or whatever, then, like, I'm pretty much hunting fresh sign anyways. And so within a matter of a week or two of hunting a spot, like, I'll know if that big buck sign from early October and it isn't still there, and I'm moving on to a different spot until I find hot buck sign, and then I'm hunting that buck sign down until I run into bucks of the caliber that I'm trying to hunt. That's how I found success on public ground. I still use the trail cameras, and I'm going to do a video that, like, really breaks down trail camera strategy. But right now we're just talking about late season, why guys are running it. That's kind of my take on it. Now, I do have trail cameras out right now. I am trying to get pictures of a big 10-pointer that I was hunting late season. I'm not counting my chickens, though. I haven't even gotten a picture of him since December 7th. He was a deer that was underneath me when I shot my smaller buck that I thought I shot. Yes. So that was kind of rough. So I am interested in trying to keep up with that deer and see if maybe next season he can survive again. If he survived this season in a very, very pressured piece of public, then maybe he can do it again, and me and him can tussle late season, or maybe I can even get on him early. We'll see how that winds up playing out. But for the most part, I'm not putting a bunch of eggs in that basket. My skills and how I like to hunt is the bouncing around, finding hot sign, hunting it, and trying to figure out and find a buck and then hunt him down throughout the season. I just like that. It's just fun for me. So we're going to do a little bit of both this year, and we're going to see if I like it. I've never really ran trail cameras late season, or not late season, but like past the season. I'm going to see if it really does help me. So what I wanted to do is, since it's something that I've never really done, I wanted to ask everybody, and then we're going to read through some of the comments. So some of the guys that are maybe debating whether they should or shouldn't, or why, maybe your situation is a little bit different than mine. I'm from Central Illinois, so you could be from PA, and this can be completely different, which we'll get into in some of these comments. Now, I'm not going to read who said the comments or anything like that. I'm just going to read them and maybe give my take on it. But for the most part, from what I've already read, the census is mainly just to get inventory and to see what's kind of making it. So let's get into these comments. The first one says, yes, I'm looking for when they shed. So if you're a shed guy, This guy said to see deer that you wouldn't normally see during the season. So that's going back to exactly what I was saying. Like, I feel like I was just getting pictures to get pictures, and it wasn't really helping me kill something the next season. Not that there's anything wrong with wanting to get pictures of deer, and if you like that, and you get some really cool pictures. I know guys run theirs on video mode, and some friends of mine were getting videos just the other night of bucks fighting, and you'll get a random coyote or something crazy go on, and it's just cool to see. So there's definitely nothing wrong with it. Here's one that I really like for you PA guys. My season usually ends with a rifle season here in PA, so I like to see what survived come January and February. That one I really like. If you're hunting, pressured property on public or even private, and there's a big rifle season that comes through right at the end of your season, yeah, like I'd want to know if my top bucks made it, especially if I was hunting private. To see what deer made it through, to see when deer shed. Oh, I couldn't say that. To see when deer I can't talk. To see who sheds and when, and then to get late season patterns. Again, I like the late season patterns thing. That's something that I'm kind of trying to look for with this big 10-pointer. I usually keep mine out until shed season, and then I pull them. So once you start seeing bucks drop, then it's time to go out and shed hunt and get them out. So I like that. I just like to see what made it through and what bucks start dropping. So right to the same thing. Because I get bored and it's something to look at. I like that one. Running mine till mid-March, there's a chance I get a better idea when bucks sheds. So if you're a shed guy, again, inventory, like to know when what bucks made it through. So there's that inventory again. Here's another one. Inventory on private to see what might have made it through. I keep mine out year-round to see the shift in deer movement and see what's still around. So there goes what I was saying at the beginning. If you're running them to see what deer make it through and to come up with a pattern, I wonder if you're running them full season. If that's probably really beneficial, especially if you're really good with the trail cameras. I'm not very good with them, but I feel like that would be a really good one, especially on private. I'm saying. I only leave mine out until I see antlers start to drop. That's how I know it's shed season. So right on. And then amen to this brother. It says, I need all the intel for next season I can get. So those are most of mine. All honestly inventory related. Wanted to see what bucks made it through the late season, which is a really, really good idea. I'm again wondering if how many guys are running them all season, like all year, to kind of keep that up and see what are making it. Maybe guys are pulling them and not starting them until September again, July when they start growing because they want to see awesome shed or awesome velvet pictures. So yeah, I mean, like I said, my take's a little bit different. I'm gonna try some of these out and see if they really help me come next season. But for the most part, I think that just the way that I hunt, trail cameras don't help me a bunch. When it comes to building history with deer or anything like that. And I think anything outside of the season really doesn't do much for me at all. I want to know what's going on right now when I can kill him, and that historical data is just what's going on during the season. I don't really care about what's happening outside of the season when I can't kill him. I'll find them if they're there during the season. If I don't find them, I'll find another one that I'm willing to shoot for sure. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. I try to keep this as short as possible. I do have a video coming up on trail cameras. I'm not really sure when I'm going to release it. We might actually wait until July when guys are really starting to get into the trail camera game. Again, since most guys are starting to pull theirs now, get into shed season and into turkeys and kind of getting away from it, I kind of want to wait to release that video when it's a little bit more relevant. But me and my buddy Kent are going to deep dive. He's a G with the trail cameras. I'm not so much, so I'm actually really excited to sit down and talk with him about it, pick his brain on how he uses them, and maybe incorporate some of the things that he's using to help me get in front of some target bucks this coming season as well. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully in the next couple months we'll get that out. Like I said, probably closer to July, but I wanted to get it out there to you guys, get you guys an idea that I'm be working on some content that is really going to benefit you guys for this 2025 season. So like I always say, hunt hard, scout harder.